Satin and Shimmer. We are going to be recording the second half of the kit video because I did run out of room on the last one. So Shannon's over here and we're just gonna, hey! We're just gonna focus on getting to the inside part of my trolley kit. And this is mostly the stuff that I use for working on wedding stuff. Alright, so I'm going to take out my top left drawer, and this is my blush drawer, and I have blushes from, let's see if it can focus, the Balm, there we go. These are some really nice saturated colors, and I actually get these on Hotlook when it's 50% off, and they do that every few months. And then I drop one, going down, and coming back. Alright, so I have a few of those, and then I've also, and I need to depot those and get them into another Z palette. Then I have a Z palette that I created, and I use quite a concoction here. This is Benefit La Bamba. I've got a tart, kind of peachy color. I can't even see the color at all in there. This is a MAC color called Soul. It's really pretty, sort of swirly, lilac-y pink. A couple more from the Balm that are really nice, and I use these a lot. Two from NARS, and this is Sin and Outlaw, and this is a Cargo HD Blu-ray blush, and this actually doesn't have shimmer. It's sort of a satin finish, if you will. So this is my go-to cheek palette, very well loved. And then I also have a Inglot Quad, and this is a Freedom palette with 4 slots for blushes. I have a few of these for blushes. This just happens to be the one that I'm carrying now. Better for like deeper skin tones, and then this peach color is sort of one of my favorites too at the moment. Really springy and just lovely. And then I also have this sort of sweet baby pink from Milani. I think it was $1.50 at Mark's.
Oh wow.
One of my bargain shopping favorite places. But it's a really pretty color, and actually I bought 10 of them, and I did a class for 9 girls, and I gave them each one of these blushes. It looked beautiful on all of them. And then a couple of the highlighters that I use. This is just a MAC Pigment in Vanilla, and this is great for the inner corner. Just a touch on the top of the cheeks, but a little goes a long way, I feel like. And I'll get a lot of those Pinterest photos, too, that have just a really highlighted eye area, so I love using the Vanilla Pigment. Then I've got the Stila, and I think they discontinued this. Stila is one to do. This is Pink Shimmer, and it is a cream. It kind of looks like a nail polish, similar to how like Benetint and things like that are. So I don't use this a ton, but it's great on drier skins if you want to do a highlight. And I feel like based on the way that this kit is set up, it can kind of roll around, and sometimes this is my drawer that tends to get stuck, so I'm going to reconfigure it soon, but this is how it's living at the moment. And she'll get back in there, I swear. Like, I'm at a different angle than I'm used to. There we go. And I do like this, the drawer configuration a lot because they snap closed and you don't have to worry about them sliding open, which is amazing. Yeah. The next one down is all of my little tools. So I have an Eve Pearl finger palette, so you can kind of like work off of that. I've got tweezers, you never know if there's going to be an unwanted hair somewhere, a bunch of different little pencil sharpeners, a little clippy to clip someone's bangs out of the way so you can get to their face, a couple different types of duo glue, and then I always keep the little baby glues as well, so if I have a bride with any lifting issues or she's worried about it, then I can throw this in her touch-up kit. Always have scissors, more scissors, combs. Sometimes I just put like some brow and lash combs in there, and little spoolies, and that's mostly it. I mean, the other thing that I like in here and do reach for is my airbrush cleaner brushes. Can you see these? They're really, really skinny, and it's one of the only things you can kind of like stick through once the needle comes out to get rid of any product buildup. And I'll like run this through, I don't know, every 3rd or 4th time to just kind of clean it out. 3rd drawer down on the left side. And this is one of my very popular drawers. It is my Inglot shadow palettes. I've got a shimmer one and a matte one. Those are two of the words in our title.
Yay! Bring it back around.
Yeah, so I tend to do mostly neutral colors. You know, there is a little bit of, you can see there's some really loved colors in here. A little bit of the plum. I always want to have just like one plum and sort of like a bronzy shade. But these are all of my shimmers, cools and warms, lights and darks. Gotta have a little bit of everything. And then this is my matte, and my lights are used a lot because they tend to be really, really creamy, slightly powdery, but the best. If you have not tried the Inglot Freedom Shadow palettes, you can create your own. And each palette is $6. If you get a pro discount, it's 30% off. And is that like $4.80 for some quick math in my head, I think? Wow. So last I checked, those were the prices on them. And then the empty palette for the 10 is about $10 or $12. And again, this is before the discount, so $8, $9 for the empty palette. And my sinuses are terrible today. Oh,
welcome spring. We're glad it's here.
We are in spring here in Central Ohio. And then my favoriteest lashes are the 747S, and I usually keep a larger stack of these, but I went through them with a huge bridal party the other day. And then I've got some others that I was trying out, there we go, that I ordered from Amazon. They're okay, but not as good as these guys. Also ordered from Amazon because red cherry lashes have gone up almost twice in price since last year, and I'm not paying that for red cherry, because they're all made in the same factory, essentially. And these are some red cherry 523s, but 747s are definitely my favorites. And I have some more that I just ordered from Amazon last night. And you can order them in 10 packs. So I think I got 10 of those and 10 of the DW, which is Demi Wispy. And those are my other favorites. Okay, moving on to the bottom drawer on the left side. I have my powders and my bronzers. The bronzers are what I sort of use to sculpt with, and I know like a lot of people say that's a no-no, but I don't like orangey bronzers. So these are really neutral, and I feel like that looks good on everybody. These are Makeup Forever. You could even use them, you know, call them contour. But I do use them to warm up the skin as well, because they are neutral and you can do both with it. This is shade 30, and this is good for medium and tan skin, or even lighter dark skin. I've got the same thing in shade 20. There's absolutely no shimmer in this, so it looks great on all photo and video. And the 20 is good for lighter skins, up to a medium if they just want a subtle bit of warmth. Then I also have the Smashbox, and this is really similar to the 20, and I think I bought this because they were sold out of the 20 at Namie's Supply, and I got this instead. It's almost as good, but the one thing I really can't stand is that you have to screw off the top. I mean, it's an extra step, but it is, it's a little bit creamier, so you have to be careful not to get too much, but it does, it blends really beautifully. I think my doggy's coming in. It's always a possibility in this house. Loose powder-wise, I just have two. For lighter skins, so slippery. These silicone powders, they are embarrassing sometimes, so I don't use them all that much because of that. This is Smooth Operator from Tarte. I have this one, and then I also have a Cargo that's a similar kind of HD slippery powder, and then it gets on stuff, and then you look like a klutz because it slips out of your hands. And then I have the classic Ben Nye Banana Powder, great on medium and tan skin or even darker skin. And this is so good on oily skin types too. I would like to get the lighter one for lighter skins. Anybody who's got dry skin, I love the Stila Set and Illuminate Baked Powder Trio, and you just grind it and then put a tiny bit on a brush and just kind of, it's not too illuminating. It's really, really subtle. Great for under the eyes or highlighting the points of the skin that light would hit, as long as they're not oily. If they're oily, don't need this. Then I have the Sleek Contour Trio. This is, don't want to flash that in your face. This is called Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette. And this is not much more neutral or cool toned than the bronzers that I use. It's fine. I don't think I like it as much as Makeup Forever, but I do like that I have this lovely highlighter and also a really pretty blush in here. This is very similar to the NARS Orgasm blush that's really, really popular. So, good deal. I think it's $15 for all three, and you have to order it online. Get that on eBay. And then my very, very favorite powders, save the best for last, are the Cargo Blu-ray powders. Very, very well loved. I think I've gone through 3 or 4. Yes, they're pressed powders, and it could also be considered powder foundation, I think. I just apply this with a brush. A little bit goes a long way, takes away all shine without making it look heavy, cakey, dry, and it gives you as much coverage as you could possibly want. And I do colors 20 for light to medium skin and 30 for medium to tan skin. So those are like my all-time favorite powders. And if you want to keep a lighter look, though, you probably don't want those because there is coverage. So in the like the banana powder and the Smooth Operator HD type powder, you would use the tiniest bit, and that's really more for just subtle setting of the makeup. Moving on. On the top right drawer, I have all of my brow stuff, and I'm sort of brow obsessed, as I might have mentioned a few times before. I have a couple, I'll have to break this down here, a couple duos from Stila, and these are powders. And keeping in the powder vein, I have like some no-name brand. I don't even remember where this came from. Rocky River, Ohio. Love it. And this is great. I use this for redheads. It's auburn. And then also a really great dark, dark brown. And sticking with powders again, I've had this Truco one. Don't worry, it's sanitized many times over. 3 really highly used colors. This is also great for my touch-up bag that I'll bring sometimes because it has any color that I could probably want, except for red, besides that. And then I have this palette, and the main reason why I carry this, even though, again, this is sort of a no-name brand that I don't know where it came from, I mainly carry it for this second color because it's kind of like a really light stony taupe, and if someone's brows are looking too dark with any powder that I would put on, this one is like the ideal for blonde powder. Sticking with powders still. I mean, how many does one need? But I have a whole drawer. You have to fill it up, right? BH Cosmetics. Okay, so I stand corrected. In my last video I said I only had the one thing from BH. These are the other things I like. 2 of these are powders, and then 1 is a wax, so it gives you a little grooming. And the color here is light, so this is going to be almost for anybody. And then the medium is really going to be for dark. I feel like sometimes people go way too dark on their brows, so I don't go any darker than medium, even for the darkest hair. Black hair, still medium. Okay, then I have pencils. And we have the main pencils that I enjoy. Let's just grab those all now. Ding, 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 and ding. Okay. How many does one need? Again, this is an old school Stila one, and I came into some of the cartridges, the refills for it, and then I was able to find this, like the original empty automatic brow definer on eBay, and I love it. They're kind of dry, and that's what I like in a pencil for brows. You don't want that in an eyeliner, but when it comes to brows, I feel like it gives you a more long-lasting color. Also, I have a Shiseido Natural Black, and this is for sometimes when I do Asian women. That would be about the only time I would do natural black, or maybe on black skin, maybe. Then I have a Sonia Kashuk, and I loved this because it had a little tiny sharpener, baby sharpener in the trunk, in the bottom, but now it's not working, so I don't love it anymore because it's just too round. This is good for light brown and soft red and maybe dark blonde. Then my other 2 most used are Hazel, and this is actually what I use on myself, from Rimmel, and dark brown, also from Rimmel. Their pencils are just good. Their lip liners are good, and their brow pencils are good. So if you have to get cheapy, you're building a kit from nothing. This is a MAC clear brow finisher. It also has a little end that comes off that I never noticed. This is basically a little tube of hard wax. So this is just going to give you clear grooming. Oh, there's so many things, Shannon.
That is fascinating to me.
But if you want grooming, my two favorites are from Inglot. Again, I tell everybody who does makeup artistry that they need these in their kit. Why won't that come off? So they are twist up and give you just a little bit of color and waxing, so it's going to give you grooming. And the two colors that I like are color number 62, which is for darker brown and black hair, and then number 63, strangely, is kind of backwards, which is for blonde and light brown, medium brown hair. And you could probably get away with 63 on most people. It's just awesome. If somebody has a lot of brow and they need definition and just a little filling in, this is like super quick, and I can whip out a brow in 30 seconds with this. We're not done. If somebody has reddish brows and they're missing spots, I like this brow marker. I don't use it a whole lot because how many people with red hair have missing spots? This is from Milani, but it just goes too red for most brown hair people. If they want like a really defined brow, this is gonna do it. Kind of auburn. It's called natural taupe. It's not. And then my favorite super duper waterproof product is from Blink Cosmetics, and this is brow mousse. It's kind of like a gel, but I take a little tiny brush and work off of that because I feel like if you brush through it, it's just a whole big mess. But I was sold on this at a trade show. I just swatched a little bit on my hand and it was stuck on there even though I was washing my hand over and over. So that's kind of amazing. And if you've got a hot day or somebody who like rubs their face, it's not going to go anywhere. This color is taupe, and I just realized after looking at the colors when they dried down that the taupe was the one that I just felt like was really neutral and would work for most people. Sonia Kashuk makes a kind of similar product, and again, I work off the brush for this guy, and this is just, if they don't need it to be quite as waterproof, but it's still good. And then a clear, I just need like a clear brow gel for some people that just need grooming, and this is just from Essence, a little cheapie. I haven't found the clear brow gel of my dreams, so if you have a suggestion, completely open to that. And I have like a dog here that keeps crawling into my nose. Okay, this is my mascara and wand drawer. I think I have 7 mascaras in here right now. Waterproof is the main one that I will end up using. For weddings, I always use waterproof. I do love tubing mascaras as well. This is the Double Extend from L'Oreal, and they form like little tubes around your lashes, so it'll stay on for, I always tell people, like, you can cry, you can get caught in the rain, it's not going to go anywhere. You don't need makeup remover to take it off, you need warm water. Warm water and warm water alone. That's it. So these are from, I think, like Essence and Jordana and NYX. I mean, I don't spend a lot on mascara because I go through it a lot. Where are we on time? I can't see it. Oh.
18 minutes.
Okay. And disposable mascara wands. Another reason why I don't spend a lot on mascara is that I can't use the wand that it comes with anyway. So as much as their reel from Benefit was awesome, half of it was that the wand was great and you can't use it on your client. So pointless. Oh, the other cheapy one that I love is the Old School Professional from CoverGirl. You can get it in the blue tube, which I think is the waterproof, and then this sort of like faded red, here we go, which is just the classic. I also carry in the same drawer some little pointed Q-tips, so if I want to like sharpen up something under the eyes. And this is where I would put my little touch-up stuff too. I have little baby 3-gram jars, and I give everybody a little palette knife scoop out of whatever lip product I have on them, or something similar that can be sampled out. Sometimes you can't sample things out. And then the tiny little plastic baggie to put it in. And then, before I even get a chance, they're like, what am I going to apply it with? And I'm like, I have baby brushes. I buy these things in bulk. And if you need a good bulk supplier, Dante Disposables, Linda Skeens Laboratory, something like that. But Dante Disposable, Google it, you'll find it. I think it's Linda that you'll be dealing with. You can, once you get an account with her, you can just email her and she'll have all of your information there. I find it really affordable. I get like 100 jars for about $12, and if you try to get 100 jars on eBay, I think they're like 35. I mean, huge, huge difference. Then they also have the brush cleaner that I mentioned in the last video, and I love that brush cleaner. But yeah, all of my disposable wands, disposable lips, mascara tubes, jars, the baggies, actually, let me tell you where I get those. A jewelry designer locally told me where to get these because I was like, that's what I need. That's the exact size. She gets them in the bead department at Meijer. So sometimes they sell out of this size. There's one slightly bigger that's fine too. But better than like doing a bunch of what is it, snack bags from like Ziploc, which is what I was doing.
Yeah.
But those are cheap too. Those are only like $3. Okay, we're down to the third drawer here. Making our way through. I have two more eyeshadow palettes. These are Eyes Are the Window shadow palettes from Stila. I love them. There's 12 shadows in each. Just a really nice array of neutrals, and I got these I think last fall, and I've used them a lot.
These would be good for me.
Yeah,
For my blonde
I have them
hair.
there on my shelf. We could probably figure something out. And then I just have another Stila palette. I have titled this not matte, not shimmer, but New Mix. Can you see that? No, you probably can't. I can't see it. So it's more, I've got like some more golden shadows, peaches, and just more neutral and nudes. I do have colored stuff, but I just don't carry it in my everyday kit. And then I do have a couple more MAC pigments. Don't use them a lot, but if somebody wants that sort of really metallic finish, then at least I have them. So that's all that's in that drawer, and I have tried to pare it down considerably because, I mean, eyeshadow tends to be the heaviest thing in your kit, and this kit is heavy. I break my back. And we are on the last drawer.
What? Awesome.
And this is one of my favorites. So I showed in the last video the glosses and also all of my lip liners. What are you doing? No, she's playing with Liza. Liza, you okay? I just want to make sure she's okay. Okay. And then these are my lipstick palettes. So even though I have the long wears, even though I have the glosses and the liners, I have to have lipsticks. And not just a few. So I have Depotted. This is all neutrals. And I was just, last fall, I was really dying for a great neutral palette. So I made it.
That's awesome.
And then this is a combo of colors, neutrals and brights. I'm just going to go through really quick here because I do have a couple minutes I could spend on these palettes. I have everything from Kate Moss from Rimmel to MAC Freckle Tone, MAC Cherish, Laura Geller Cute, Kate Moss Rimmel 14, Chanel Rouge Coco Sentiment. I had to splurge on a couple because, you know, I have high-end clientele. Then I've got Chanel Rouge Coco in Deauville, D-E-A-U-Ville. And this is nice and balmy, but it is a little, it's brownie, so it's kind of like bringing back the 90s. Jordana Terra Crave. It's a really nice brown for medium and dark skin. Laura Geller Zen. It's got just a touch of like a peachy pink. It's not too brown, so I really like that one. This Wet n Wild color. I mean, everything from Chanel down to Wet n Wild. But lipstick is made with the same basic elements, so some of them smell cheap though, so I will not get anything that smells cheap. Then I've got MAC Touch and Rimmel Coffee Shimmer. This is so pretty. Oh, careful, honey, careful, sorry. Yeah, no, can you, wait, why don't we leave her alone? Okay, sorry, my dog gets a little weird sometimes if there's just too much. She lets you know. Sorry, Gabby. So then there's Smashbox Legendary, which is a really nice red. This is NYC, just a really true hot pink, and I can cocktail that with something more neutral. Rimmel, kind of a peachy pink, and then Jordana. I love this color called Sweet Pink. I've never seen her do that.
Oh, that's so good.
Smashbox Primrose. This is already getting down to the nitty gritty. It's a really beautiful neutral peach. Jordana Honey Love. This is actually a balm, and so is a sweet pink. I almost forgot to mention that. So you twist them out and just kind of scraped them in from there. But these are the Twist and Shine balms, and I think they're like $3, $2.50. They're really affordable. This is Essence Barely There, Wet and Wild Dark Pink Frost. This is amazing. Essence Natural Beauty, Laura Geller Flirt. Also, I've used a lot. It's kind of a really pretty true berry color. Wet and Wild Dark Wine and Smashbox Fig. I just needed some darker shades for some darker clients. And then I have another one. I have issues, I know. I'm sorry.
It's so much fun. It's like a
I
dream.
know. This is what I wanted, like, from the time I was, like, 21. I can't believe I get to do this for a living. How awesome is this? I'm not going to break down all these, but you can see, you basically buy, like, the outer shells, and then you can specify how many you want the wells in the inside. So the MAC empty palettes are, like, a really good deal. Like, the Japanesque ones, I think, are $26 for something similar, and I'll show you my Japanesque palettes. These are way sturdier, and I think the whole thing, all included, was like $13. And if you have a Mac Pro card, it's like $9 with the inserts. Really inexpensive. So I've got everything from like Stila to NYX, MAC, Senna, a couple Senna colors in there, a couple Inglot, more MAC, some Revlon. They make some really nice colors, more Stila. Oh, and a couple Burt's Bees. So somebody who's like, I don't like anything on my lips. I try to talk them into a Burt's Bees lip balm. Just a little tint. Nice. They look like they've got a lot of color, but they're like very barely tinted. Just a little something. So usually I can get them at least into a Burt's Bees. And I always take a palette knife for anything out of these. Ooh, two of my favorites. Lipstick Queen. These are so, so gorgeous. This is called Fly. This is called Sigh. And I think you can only get those at Bergdorf's, or you might carry them in a couple places more now. Lipstick Queen is the name of the brand. Then a couple Inglot, Makeup Forever, Stila, Sephora, Inglot. But lots of neutrals, lots of berries, lots of pinks. Those are my go-tos. And then I just have a couple more minutes. I can finish up and show you some of the Jordana. Or not Jordana. Japanesque. Starts with a J. Just like joy. So these are the Japanesque palettes. You've probably seen them. Also, kind of a similar idea. They're not nearly as sturdy as the MAC ones, and so now I don't carry them anymore. You really shouldn't melt anything in these. I've seen, like, you know, I tried melting them before, and it makes the plastic kind of crinkle up, which makes it really messy. And then you just wasted an entire tube of lipstick, which you chopped off, and, like, it hurts your heart whenever you do that. As cool as these are, I mean, having a beautiful, fresh tube of lipstick, there's something just so lush and, like, lovely about it, and then you, like, chop it off and you're like, bye, lipstick. I'll never see you again like that. But it has to live on people's mouths. That's where lipstick goes, right? Here's another one. This is just too old, and I don't like that it's dried up, and I wanted to replace it, and I can't find anywhere that sells the Japanesque things to just, like, replace it. And they're just, like, chintzy little things, but I don't know what I would even call these wells. So this is kind of a waste now. Tons of neutrals, really great dark colors, and a lot of high-end colors, but can't use them. And then I was going to do real quick, my brushes. If I'm doing a smaller job, so not a wedding, I would just bring something like this Bdellium Tools brush roll, and about 15 random brushes from everything from Bdellium, however you say it, to Crown Brush. And those are, like, probably the two main brands that I use are Bdellium Tools and Crown. I like from Crown the Studio line, I think is what it's called. And then for more of, like, the bigger jobs, I would do the brush belt, and you can fit so much in your brush belt. If I have to do touch-ups, this is nice to have too, so I can just kind of slap this on. Otherwise, I actually don't keep this on me. I lay it down on a table because I like to be able to see my brushes and not sort of be bulked up with them. I do have my stainless steel palette in here so I can scrape things onto it. I have my palette knife that I've mentioned a handful of times. And I do try to sort of categorize them, the big fluffy ones in the back. I've got concealer brushes here, lip brushes here, eye brushes, eye brushes, eye brushes, eye brushes, liner brushes, and brow brushes, and palette knives, and spoolies. So the nice thing is I can fold this in half, wrap it up, and put it in a bag with just like my folding lamp that I like to bring to jobs, and sometimes if they're, oh, and my airbrush gun. So I can just like throw those things all into one container. And then 5 seconds here, I'm just going to show you quick. This is the Neo Air that I got maybe 3 months ago. It's my new airbrush machine, and it's really small and very portable, and you just push a button. There's 3 settings, really easy. And then I did get the Sparmax airbrush gun to go with it. I like that it's just a tube and it's not, I don't know, it seems like it's nice to work with. I've just been sort of like feeling it out for the last few months, and I'm finally getting the hang of this particular one. You kind of get used to the rhythm and the way that each one feels in your hand and the way that it sprays. So I am getting into this one, and I actually really like it. I got this from Hobby Lobby, and I don't love supporting them, but it was kind of out of necessity, and they do have 40% off of any one item most days, and you can find it on like Retail Me Not. If you just Google Hobby Lobby coupon, you'll find that. But it's only off of one item, so you'd have to spread it out over 2 days. And I think that's probably where we're going to wrap it. Then I've got like some other things I can kind of share from my kit, because I do quite a few production and commercial type jobs, and I would take a smaller kit generally for that, and things sometimes for some light hairstyling and for wardrobe and stuff like that. So I can kind of show you that on a different video, but hopefully this is helpful and you've enjoyed it, and we'll have more for you in the future.